The people we send to Washington need to be looking to the future of our country. They are the governing body that sets the pace and direction for our country, and they need to be looking 30 and 40 years ahead to prepare a foundation of regulatory governance which we are going to need to be successful in our journey through the coming decades. With the rate of change in technology, who knows what our country's going to look like in 20 or 30 years? Perhaps we'll have those flying cars from the Jetsons finally, who knows? The point is that from American ingenuity and innovation will come new products and solutions to improve the lifestyles of our nation. Those innovations will also bring new and unexpected challenges for our government. We need a Senate that is willing and able to understand those new challenges and then respond with equally innovative regulatory solutions that will allow for responsible development of those new technologies. While the development of green technologies is beneficial to our economy and becomes more critical to safeguarding our environment, the implications of those technologies must be considered throughout the entire product life cycle, from cradle to grave. We need to keep in mind that just because a product saves us a few pennies when we use it, it may not necessarily be good for the environment once we've used it up. After all, what good is saving a few pennies if we poison our environment in the process? We need to leverage our technologies to develop products that lay a foundation for an environmentally responsible future that prevents the addition of further pollutants to our air, our ground, and our water. We have to do this so that we can clean up the debris left over from our older technologies that were developed and then casually discarded at a time when we simply didn't know any better. We do this so that our children and our grandchildren have a cleaner planet in which to raise their children and their grandchildren. My final point today addresses everybody's favorite topic, the national health care debate. We all need reliable and affordable health care, those who have it already, as well as those who have none. We need to ensure the availability of care for elderly and retired Americans, as well as provide compassionate care for those who can't provide it for themselves. We need new laws that allow for portability of affordable health care, both between jobs and between states. Excuse me. We can start with greater competition to drive down costs, as well as better process regulation and oversight to prevent waste, fraud, and abuse. But we need to fix the things in the system that are broken, and we need to improve and expand upon the things that are working. In order to do this, we need a realistic plan, and then we need the Senate to craft effective legislation that will allow it to be delivered to America as a whole. These changes need to be driven by reasonable and incremental legislation, but then implemented in the private sector to manage and drive down costs for the American people. In closing, I would remind you to look back and see how far we've come in just over 200 years. We have thrown off the shackles of a tyrannical king, waged a war on our own soil to abolish slavery, and then made every person equal, regardless their skin color, because it was the good and right thing to do. We truly are the proverbial melting pot, which has made us the most prosperous and generous nation in the history of the world. We are a proud nation representing every race on the face of this earth. And then I would ask you to envision a future where the government works for the people and not against us. A government that provides efficient and cost-effective governance without stealing from the people the money which we have earned. Imagine our legislative bodies following the values of the American people, as well as the framework of our nation's Constitution and its guiding principles. To quote Thomas Jefferson, that is the sum of good governance. We are the innovators and inspiration for every country on earth, with a passion for life and a love of the freedom that very few other people in this world enjoy. We have an incredible governing framework in our Declaration of Independence and in our United States Constitution. They are unparalleled, and they are the envy of this world. I believe in the values of that framework, and I will work tirelessly and faithfully to promote those values, as well as to promote and uphold the values and best interests of the people of Oregon. My name is Robin Parker, and I am a conservative Republican American. I am proud to be your candidate for United States Senator. If you will honor me with your vote, I will defend your values and your ideals in the Senate and in Washington, D.C. I will go to Washington, D.C. and work with the Senate body to craft a foundation for the future success of our nation, for the good of the people of Oregon, as well as all the American people. We need to look ahead and forge a future that is as bright and brilliant as our past. And now I would ask you to please consider voting for me on May 18th. Thank you, and God bless you. Good night.